I'd like to introduce our first speaker, please. We'll be hearing from Martin Boaler, who has been the Managing Director of MORAVIA cans since 2017. He's been in the packaging industry since 1999, when he joined Impress Group and latterly worked for Arda and DS Smith. MORAVIA can is based in Bojkovice, here in the Czech Republic, and is a leading manufacturer of aluminium aerosol cans. So please welcome to the stage, Martin Boaler.
So, dobré ráno, good morning, everyone. Ahoy Praho, hi Prague, and hopefully we get a...
No matter for what, we can shape it.
And just in case that hasn't woken you up early this morning, I'm going to welcome some of the performers you've just seen to the stage.
Ja som pod blízkou, Dobrý den.
So first, my apologies to anybody who spent too long in Prague yesterday evening and has a little bit of a head this morning. I hope you survived okay. And also, from my point of view, how do you follow that? So, my job today is to welcome everybody to the home of can making, or we think so. And we'll start with a little geography. We are in the beautiful city of Prague, in Bohemia. This is the northwest end of Czech Republic. And the center of can making is below Silesia in Moravia, more precisely in Bojkovice, in the Moravian area of Czech Republic. Many of you here, I can look out at, have visited us, and we're very happy to welcome everybody and show off our world-class manufacturing facility in Bojkovice, where we lead the world in aerosol can production. A little bit of history. Prague was built up to the beautiful city it is now, predominantly in the 14th century under King Charles IV. And there was a little break then of about 600 years until the first aerosol cans were produced in Bojkovice. The Beatles released Love Me Do to give you a bigger image of how long that is ago. And in 1992, IBM launched the first smartphones, and MORAVIA cans started to operate under its current form, under its current ownership, and has operated, therefore, for the last 60 and 30 years. We're celebrating 2 anniversaries this year. And 60 years of monoblock aerosol production in Bojkovice. 30 years of outstanding product development under MORAVIA cans. And I share one of those anniversaries, which I will allow you to guess which one it is. And if everybody says it's 30 years, I'll be very, very happy. So I'll just like to reflect a little bit on some history and some developments as we go forward. Another anniversary for me is this will be my quarter century. I joined a leveraged buyout from Pechenay and Schmalbach Baker in the last century, on the 1st of February 1999, which, if anybody looks at the chart of aluminium cost development, was the lowest price in living memory for aluminium. Yeah, I had no clue of that at the time. I was responsible for hedging aluminium as well, and if I'd bought about 25 years forward, I'd been a very happy man. I've mostly been in metal packaging. I've spent 5 years with DS Smith in corrugated packaging, and I spent a little time between the two with Arda in glass before they acquired a beverage can. I'm very happy to say I have never worked in plastics. I have never been involved in a Tetra Pak. I try not even to open them. I have never been involved in composite packaging. And I hope nobody in the room ever has either. Also, this is my 6th Canmaker Summit. In fact, when I reflected last night, I think it might be my 7th. I think I might have Istanbul missing in the middle there somewhere. But I'll highlight 2 particular ones, or 3 particular ones. Sitges, Barcelona, many years ago, Impress Group, together with Crown, launched what became Metal Packaging Europe. And I think this was a very significant event in metal packaging in Europe, in driving the agenda that we all know is very persuasive, but was not always well represented at governmental and non-governmental level. Dubai, I can't remember why I was there, but Glen Eagles I can remember very clearly while I was there. I had just joined MORAVIA cans, and we had just installed our first production line using DWI technology to produce not only aerosol cans, aluminium aerosol cans, but shaped and differentiated aluminium aerosol cans. And we remain the only producer in Europe of this, using this technology. And I'll go on to talk more about it as I go through. Our 150 milliliter product, 45 by 150 milliliter product, supporting the Dove brand for Unilever, won every award in that edition of the Canmaker. We won our category, we won the Sustainability Award, and we won the Can of the Year Award. We are the only company ever to do that, still. And I cannot claim any great credit for it. I joined about 8 months before, but I was happy to celebrate it with many of the colleagues and many of you here that are in the room. Venice and London, also good gatherings, and Prague 2020 would continue that. Unfortunately, something else got in the way. Can't remember what it was now, but I think COVID something. So Prague 2020 has become Prague 2022. We've all coped with COVID-19, everybody here in the room. I think metal packaging has probably been one of the most resilient industries through the whole COVID pandemic. Was just referred to the increase in at-home consumption. There have been some changes in the consumption that we've seen from between household, shave, cosmetic, personal care. But overall, the business has coped admirably, and we've continued to serve. We're a 24/7 business, 350 days a year. We have not stopped for one shift, even in that period. And I think everybody here probably can say the same, because our supply chain has remained resilient, our suppliers have been resilient, and I think the way we have served our customers has been admirable across the whole of metal packaging. Now, everybody thought COVID-19's gone, it's all going to be easy, isn't it? Okay, not quite gone, but nearly gone. And then Putin decided to invade Ukraine. We are all coping with, in a similar way, in a practical way, with the inflationary and supply chain effects that have resulted from that invasion, and which continue to cause difficulties across the market. But I think I can say every one of us is operating, every one of us is servicing our customers and their end customers, and it's again an admirable performance. I had actually prepared for Prague 2020, and I look back at what I was saying, and again, backlash against plastics and composites. Aluminium bev can, huge growth, also some consolidation. Some aluminium shortages resulting as the growth needed additional aluminium production capacity. Sustainability. I think it was, in 2020, it was significant. Today, it is very significant. And it drives everything that we're doing at the moment. And many of the things are things that we've always concentrated on as an industry. So, lightweighting. Increasingly recycling rates as well. Renewable energy input. If you're going to use energy, make it renewable. Energy reduction on a per unit basis. And metal packaging continues to provide solutions and progression against these objectives. There are other, I highlighted, I was in corrugated for a while, I was in glass for a while. They're both good. I think metal is still the best material for packaging. It is the most sustainable. So, the challenges remain roughly the same. I think sustainability has grown as an agenda and will continue to grow. So, the way forward, the continuing challenges is package weight reduction. It has always been the holy grail. Always. You put less material in, you need less energy to produce it, you have less consumption of diesel by every truck you send onto the road. Ever higher recycling rates. If you're going to produce packaging, don't go back to the start of the process to produce it. Start somewhere in the middle. You use less energy. Higher recycled content, particularly post-consumer recycled content. I know there's a huge amount of debate as to definitions and measurements, etc. But the reality is, if it's been through a consumer and it gets remade again, the energy content is much lower. Reduced energy consumption per unit, particularly on a full life cycle basis. And that, again, I think is a little bit of a challenge. As you get into the recycling agenda, okay, so your recycling rate is high, but you've moved it 3,000 kilometers to achieve it. It has to be on a full life cycle basis. And alongside this, we have to maintain full regulatory compliance, increase product safety. We have to differentiate our product. That's particularly key in aerosols, where brand recognition, you will see our posters on the way out here, brand recognition is as much about shaping as it is about printing. I will apologize, this is total, well, repeat, plagiarism of a slide we put together for Sitges in Barcelona all those years ago. And a Porsche that you bought in 1962, it would be light, it would also be slow. And a Porsche you buy now will be heavy, might be fast as well, but it'll be heavy. A beverage can would have been heavy. It would have been produced on very slow machinery and filled on very slow machinery. Today, it's super light. It's produced and it's filled on super fast machinery. The development path is admirable. I know we're making aerosol cans, but I think the beverage can is the most optimized product that I know of in the world. And we're on a track towards that in aerosol. So, MORAVIA cans. What are our objectives? Because I think they'll align with yours. The last 30 years, we have been focused every single day on the lightest weight products, manufacturing the lightest weight products. And in manufacturing the lightest weight product, also being able to differentiate that product. So still able to shape, still able to print the most lustrous decoration we possibly can. And to produce these things at the fastest speed. We're not bev can speeds, sorry, but for an aerosol can manufacturer, reference. The sustainability agenda that is growing and growing, I could characterize as now having caught up with us. We have always been focused on the sustainability agenda. I'm a little too young to have seen the transfer of a three-piece beverage can to two-piece, but I've certainly been around to see the transfer from 50-50 steel DWI, aluminium DWI to almost 100% aluminium DWI. I've also very clearly witnessed, sometimes suffered when I was with Impress, now Trivium, the transfer from tin plate aerosol to aluminium aerosol that continues to develop. And I'm very clear and very pleased now to be involved in the move of aluminium monoblock to DWI technology, away progressively from impact extrusion, slug-based technology. This enables us to increase the production speeds, to lightweight the product to the maximum extent, to increase the recycled content to levels which are not achievable, and because this is then a closed-loop cycle, and that is the way that you regenerate your product every single day. And we believe this is going to be a paradigm shift in our niche market segment. And the advantage is, I won't repeat because I've been through most of these, but improved surface quality gives you better adhesion of coatings and printing. That means you can cure at lower temperatures. That means that you can retain more strength in the aluminium after the production process. That means less energy per unit. That means everything that we are focused on in terms of improving our sustainability position. And the can you see here is probably as good as it can get at the moment. There's further development to come, as happens with beverage can every single day. 87% recycled. content. You know, it's BPA non-inclusive, it's low cure, it is all of the things that we need to be doing, and it's the best can on the market. And as I say, 5 years ago, we won all the awards for our 45-150 Dove can. We are way beyond that 45-150 Dove can in terms of technical performance now and in lightweighting. Does impact extrusion, slug-based production have a future? Yes, definitely. Because eventually, as we all know, longer production, DWI to a certain extent is a restrictive technology. It requires longer runs. You don't want to change over. It has some challenges in terms of absolute shaping and differentiation. But, and therefore, impact extrusion will remain as a very valuable solution for shorter run and niche products, and will remain part of our portfolio. Even as we convert most of our production to DWI. So, MORAVIA cans. This is who we are. We believe in the benefits of metal. We lead in metal packaging in our area. We're not restricted to aerosol packaging, by the way. I'm not threatening any of the bev can producers, but we can make a bottle or two if we want to. We are a member of FEA. And today, just like to announce that the circle, for me, is a little bit complete here. So we, as of this week, are in the process of joining Metal Packaging Europe. I think it's the right organisation. There is a trade organisation in our market segment which we are not a great fan of. And we feel this is the best way to support metal going forward. And we look forward to joining many people in the room as a member of Metal Packaging Europe. And eventually, the underlying reality, the underlying raison d'etre, the underlying cell of our industry is metal recycles forever. Thank you.
Thank you, Martin. Just before you disappear, does anyone have any questions for Martin? We have a roving microphone, so please just put your hand in the air. Possibly make a noise as well, because it's a little bit dark. And our microphone man will find you. I know these things always, it's useful to have one question just to kick things off so that people don't feel shy. Martin, I was going to ask, you mentioned one of the challenges is improving the recycling rates of metal packaging. And I know for aerosol cans in particular, that can be a challenge just in terms of educating consumers as to how and where they can recycle aerosol cans, because it can, with the plastic actuators, it can be a more complicated process, or consumers think it's a more complicated process, even if it doesn't have to be. Have you been working with any industry associations or local government, anything like that, to help educate consumers?
Look, our products are consumed widely across Europe. So we supply to all of the major markets in Europe. It is a slight challenge for us to organise recycling as a company. As an industry, I think this is what we need to approach. And one of the reasons to join Metal Packaging Europe is to work with the likes of the big aluminium suppliers, who obviously are our suppliers, Constellium, Novelis, Elval, etc. Also the slug suppliers, to work our way through this. Again, I would say the can is totally recyclable. The issue is the things that go alongside the can, which is not the same. It's not the same problems as you have with a bev can, where there are no non-metal fitments to it. With ours, as you point out at the moment, there are non-metal fitments. Add in a little bit of the fact that we're also fairly pressurized compared to a bev can. So there are some challenges, and we need to work through those. We have a lot of work to do, because the supply chain on product for recycling is clearly the limiting factor on recycled content. Okay, we all know we can recycle it, but you have to get it to the right place in the right format and you have to enable that process. So we've got a lot of work to do. I don't have quick answers to that one, I'm afraid. Sorry, but we will do everything we possibly can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you. Any questions for Martin?
I do have a question. Martin, this is Ruben Robles with Belvac.
Hi.
Thank you so much for the great presentation you gave us this morning. And I have a question. What kind of targets are you looking to achieve with lightweighting on DWI versus impact extrusion?
Look, I don't think there's not an end game, is there? You know, otherwise beverage cans would still be 25% heavier than they are now. You know, even every month there's product improvements in that area. I mean, I won't give you absolute figures for a moment because there's products still to be released and customer confidentiality. But the product that we are just about to release is, I'll do my maths, is just over 15% lighter than our award-winning product. And by no means is that the limit. So there is no limit. Obviously, we have to enable our products to withstand 12 to 18 bar of internal pressure, you know, crush resistance, piercing, all of these kind of things. So the regulatory limitations are quite significant, but there is no limitation. There's no target weight. If we could get it down to, you know, if we could get it down as far as we possibly can, we will. Yeah.
Understood. Thanks.
Any more questions?
And actually, that was from Belvac, by the way, so I would say also some of the challenges are around the shaping process as well. So as you know, some of the limitations are you've got to hold the blooming things on the mandrels, etc. So there are not just product safety issues, there's also, you know, dealing with the metal, enabling it to be shaped the way we need to shape it, which is significant.
Excellent. Any more questions? Excellent. Okay, great. Well, yeah, please join me in thanking Martin once again.
Thank you very much.